Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today at the 2022 Emerging Global Leaders Conference, Leading with Intention. My name is Susie Vo, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a senior at Lewisburg Area High School in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm also the Global Minds Fellow at the World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh. For anyone who doesn't know, Global Minds is a program of the Council that focuses on fostering diversity and inclusion within schools through global education and building intercultural friendships. I'm super excited to be one of your MCs for this year's conference, and I'm joined today by my two team members, Julian and Sam. Please introduce yourselves to our audience.
Hi, my name is Julian Westray. It's great to be with you guys today. I'm a senior at the Winchester Thurston High School, and I also was on the youth board. I served as the governance co-chair, and I also served on one of the council's digital platform design committees, and I also helped design this EGLC. And I also co-MC the World Affairs Institute back in November.
Hi, I'm Sam Knoll. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a current junior at Mount Lebanon, and I work with the council to design this conference, and I am thrilled to assist in moderating this event. We will be joined by the chat moderators and tech support staff, Kathleen Newell, Sean Remming, and Stephanie Apopkina, and Kara Bowe. The World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh mission is to convene and connect people around global issues to build competitive, thriving, and inclusive Pittsburgh. And the Council's vision is a globally minded and globally connected world when we are designing our conference.
So our focus for this year's EGLC is leading with intention. We believe that in order for students to transform into well-developed leaders, it's important to practice mindfulness as well and learn about yourself as well. This year, our design committee featured participants from 4 different schools: Lewisburg Area High School, Winchester Thurston, Mount Lebanon High School, and North Allegheny Senior High School. We built the conference over 4 different design sessions where we considered our goals in terms of conference takeaways, topics we're going to cover, methods of engagement, and establishing a healthy balance of both listening and practicing, as well as a balance of activeness and breaks. We want to create a program that would give students skills they could walk away with immediately. Our hope is that you will all have a wonderful day filled with workshops. And now Sam will tell you about today's agenda.
During today's conference, you can find the agenda in the chat. Links to all sessions are accessible through the titles of the sessions. Our first 2 sessions of the day will be split by individual device users and classrooms joining one device. All sessions will end with a link to join your next session. If you are joining back-to-back sessions that are occurring on the same Zoom link, you may be moved into the waiting room temporarily between the sessions. That way the next speaker can have a quick technical check. Once you are in the waiting room, don't go anywhere. We will bring you back to the meeting as soon as we're ready to get started, the next session. During this break, you can also access the worksheet for the day. The final session of the day will be capped. Once one fills, we will send those remaining into the waiting room into the other session. Act 48 credits are offered for interested PA educators. Please fill out the form, which will be available in the chat.
Before we begin, we want to encourage you all to apply for the Youth Fellowship, the Youth Board, or be part of the next design committee to design the 2022 World Affairs Institute for Student Leaders. So these are 3 council programs offered to students in high school where you can meet with other students that may work around the council and you guys can design a program. So for the Youth Fellowship, it's divided into 6 types of fellows. And there's the first one is careers and conferences, where you design events like this one, and you meet a bunch of fun people and work with the council staff. Communications is the second one, which entails management of the council's social media sites and events and newsletters. And I know that a lot of you guys use social media already, so this can be a fun experience if you know your stuff. And Digital Engagement Fellow works with the council's educational programs. So if you're interested in shaping your curriculum or improving educational opportunities, what's one's for you? The Fundraising and Development Fellows work with the council's donors, and you get to learn how to research and write grants. The Global Minds Fellow, which Susie is, will carry out duties related to supporting chapter programming. And this position is best for those who already have or are already in a chapter or a leader of a chapter. Youth Voice and Participation Fellow will carry out duties related to council's youth-adult partnerships and external connections to support more effective programming. Next is the Youth Board, which is a group of students who work to bolster youth voice and council affairs in action. It's an opportunity for you to get your voice heard and for your ideals to be reflected by the council.
Thank you for sharing those two opportunities with us, Julian. I myself have been a part of both the Youth Board and the Youth Fellowship. I'm currently the Global Minds Fellow, and I can say that they have both been wonderful opportunities for both professional development and networking with adults and peers who are like-minded and who are interested in the same things. So I highly encourage all of you to apply if you are interested. Also, we want to remind you that we are recording some of today's sessions. Zoom will notify you as soon as a recording is in progress, so if you do not want your image, voice, or name to be used, please participate in these sessions with your camera turned off, your mic muted, and your Zoom account renamed to conceal your identity. We encourage everyone to participate in today's conference in the way that makes them feel the most comfortable. Otherwise, we invite you to please keep your cameras turned on to make the space feel more personal and engaging if you are comfortable with that. Feel free to unmute the conversation, unmute yourselves to join the conversation, and you can also use the chat function as well. We also encourage you to rename yourselves to include your name and your pronouns if you feel comfortable. Before we start, the World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh would also like to respectfully acknowledge that we currently reside, work, and play on the traditional territory of many Indigenous nations. Deondaga, otherwise known as Pittsburgh, has been caretaken by the Osage Nation, the Shawnee Nation, the Haudenosaunee Nation, and the Lenape Nation. Through this acknowledgement, I invite you to join me in paying respects to the elders, past and present. We encourage you to visit the Council of Three Rivers American Indian Center, as well as the links that will be put in the chat so that you can learn more about the Indigenous lands that you are on. Also, before we jump into our first sessions, we want to share some tips about how you can get the most meaningful experience at the Emerging Global Leaders Conference today. First, we ask that you turn on your camera so that sessions are more personal and connected, if you feel comfortable. We also ask that you ask questions and participate actively so that together we can better understand the topics at hand. During breakout sessions, we ask that you unmute yourself to ask questions and to join the discussion so that the conversations can be engaged, inclusive, and flowing. We also ask that you listen to others and seek to keep an open mind at all times so that together we can understand other viewpoints and respect diverse perspectives. Also, we ask that you engage respectfully in all dialogue so that others feel safe to share their opinions and ideas. In theme with our Leading with Intention theme for today's conference, we ask that you try to take mindful notes during and after sessions to gather the information that you have learned. And lastly, we ask that you trust that everyone in this space is participating with the intention of seeking a deeper understanding of leading with intention so that we can create an environment where everyone can be vulnerable in the pursuit of learning and growth. Lastly, at any point in the day, if you have any tech-related questions, feel free to reach out to our tech team via the chat function. Or if you have any other questions, you can reach out to our moderators via the chat function as well.
Throughout the day, you will be able to win prizes by participating in the conference. Here's a list of prizes that can be earned. A great book of journaling by Linda Monk and Eric Mays, a donation to the International Rescue Committee, a donation to the Pittsburgh Youth for Climate Action, and a $25 Visa e-gift card. Additionally, if you complete the survey at the end of the conference that will be shared during the closing remarks and via the email, you'll be entered twice in a drawing for a chance to win a prize.
Before we go into our first sessions, we invite you all to get yourself a drink, a snack, a writing utensil, and a notebook, and whatever else you may need to remain present and focused in today's conference. We encourage you once again to take mindful notes about what you learned from each session so that you have even more information to walk away from this conference with. Without further ado, we will now get started. We will direct you to your first session, which will either be intentional communication with Bridget Mullins. This session is for individuals joining on their own devices, and our other session is Brave Spaces with YWCA Kalamazoo, and this session is for classrooms joining on a shared device. The Zoom links will be in the chat, and once you enter the Zoom link, you'll be in a waiting room for a few minutes as our speakers get set up. Then you'll be admitted to the session. These sessions will start at around 8:30 after our speakers have a time to do their technical checks, and we encourage you to take advantage of this 10 to 15-minute break so that you can get yourselves ready for the first session. I hope you all are as excited as I am for today, and we hope that you have a wonderful time.